Earlier today, CD Projekt Red revealed that tomorrow, on July 16th, Cyberpunk 2077 is getting a new edition of RedStreams. This to dive into patch 2.3. And yeah, this is a big deal. RedStreams have almost always ended with the update releasing, so I would fully expect patch 2.3 to also be dropping tomorrow. And hey, if you have a giant mod list, get ready. This is almost certainly going to break a lot of your mods. But it gets even better as a few of the new features coming with this update have already been shared online. As also earlier today, CDPR revealed that Cyberpunk 2077 would be releasing on Mac later this week, technically on July 17th. So if anything, maybe patch 2.3 is coming out on the 17th instead of the 16th, but in the past it's always been the same day as the RedStreams. But to go along with this new Mac announcement, media outlets also learned a few new details about patch 2.3, as both The Verge and Mac Rumors are reporting that patch 2.3, which introduces new photo mode features, additional vehicles, and various gameplay adjustments. So almost similar to some of the past updates, patch 2.3 will include new cars in the plural, likely at least 2 new vehicles that you could find in the world or just buy for yourself, but then also new photo mode features, which to me is the most interesting of the mentioned things thus far. Patch 2.2 was already a huge photo mode overhaul, so I'm genuinely surprised about this one. Perhaps they're expanding on the base that they built out with patch 2.2, but particularly for the very large photo mode mod scene, this might mean broken mods for an extended period again. The final mention with additional gameplay adjustments is incredibly vague, but thankfully, as a result of some of the past gameplays we've seen of both the Switch and Mac version, we actually have a really good idea of what some of these new features will be. To go along with the Mac release announcement, CDPR sent some creators what appears to be pre-captured B-roll, basically some gameplay recorded on a Mac that CDPR gives to these creators so they could share it in the background as they're talking about new features. Well, in this footage on the Mac, which was also likely recorded in patch 2.3, we could see a completely new option on this car. You can see in the current version of the game that's just not there right now. I suspect this is going to be an auto drive mode. Lots of people struggle with driving around Night City, and this will likely have your car just follow a predetermined path to whatever objective you currently have selected. Something I will probably never use personally. I really enjoy driving around Night City, but I totally get why some people don't, and this will be a big convenience. And funny enough, CDPR did almost the exact same thing, except with the past Switch 2 gameplay. This one's a bit more strange as the gameplay dropped months ago now, but I suspect what happened was in the preview build of the Switch 2, they were just running patch 2.3, or at least had some of the patch 2.3 features on that preview build. Because at one point in the Switch 2 gameplay, a totally new map marker is spotted. And what fans eventually realized is that this map marker is leading directly to a hidden gem location. Right now in Cyberpunk 2077, there are tons of small pieces of environmental storytelling, an item or shard to find, or just something minor like that that is hidden. These are of course known as hidden gems. In the background, I'm using one of the very popular hidden gem mods that makes it so whenever I pass by a hidden gem, there's a 25% chance it does get a map marker so you could find it. What I suspect is happening here is CDPR is implementing that into the game. Tons of players miss a lot of these very easily missable secrets, so I suspect we're just getting a new option to sometimes have those brought up to your attention. Hopefully this will be toggleable. Hopefully you could disable it if you don't want it, as I imagine many people will still want these to be hidden. But at the same time, if there's like a 10 to 20% chance of you finding a new hidden gem as you're passing by it and getting alerted to that, I'm kind of okay with that. It'd also be really cool if CDPR adds in a few new hidden gems to go along with this feature, but this may have just been cut. The strange part is, this was shown in some of the earliest Nintendo Switch 2 footage, but then has never been seen again. I can't find it in the more updated Mac footage, and of course, all of the release versions of the Nintendo Switch 2 build of Cyberpunk 2077 don't seem to have this feature, or at least I've never found anyone talking about it. But thankfully, that's not all. We do know that at least something else is coming with this update. I personally was suspecting some more cyberware customization options, although perhaps these will just be cosmetic, being able to chrome yourself out a bit more in the character creator. If you recall, CDPR in the past said that this new patch 2.3 would be a similar scope to patch 2.2. Patch 2.2 had 3 major new features as well as 1 minor one, so I would fully suspect 1 or 2 additional things from 2.3 in tandem to everything we already talked about, like 1 or 2 more things. Of course, the one many of us are desperate for is mod support. As of right now, we just have no idea if this is coming in tomorrow's update, but the CEOs of this company have expressed interest in mod support in Cyberpunk 2077, so I have to imagine it's coming at some point. And don't forget, this still likely isn't the end of Cyberpunk 2077 updates. Past LinkedIn entries have suggested that a Cyberpunk 2077 DLC is already in the works. And while CDPR does differentiate between free DLC and paid expansions, so this free DLC might be relatively small, I don't personally think it's coming with this update tomorrow. Instead, later this year is looking more and more likely.